The silver disk of the Galactic Conclave flagship hung in the sky above New York City. Its shadow fell across the United Nations building like a dark promise. People in the streets stopped and stared upward. Some took pictures. Others ran for shelter. Most just stood frozen, watching the impossible become real. Inside the UN General Assembly, the air felt thick with tension. Human leaders from every nation sat unnaturally still. Some gripped their armrests. Others wiped sweat from their foreheads. All eyes fixed on the strange beings standing at the podium. Ambassador Dak of the hegemony stood taller than any human. His skin shimmered with an oily blue-green light. 4 arms emerged from his torso, each ending in 7-fingered hands. The breathing apparatus attached to his face made soft clicking sounds between his words. "We have studied your world for some time," Dak said, his voice translated through devices that made his words sound flat and mechanical. "Your technology is primitive. Your conflicts are childish. Your understanding of the universe is deeply flawed." The UN Secretary-General shifted uncomfortably in his seat but remained silent. "The Galactic Conclave has classified Earth as a Level 2 civilization," Dak continued. "Pre-spacefaring, barely aware of the greater community that exists beyond your atmosphere. As such, we will place your world under protective observation." Several human diplomats exchanged worried glances. The American representative leaned forward. "What exactly does protective observation mean?" Ambassador Dak's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "It means we will monitor your development, prevent you from harming yourselves, guide your evolution toward maturity. You will not be permitted to develop certain technologies without approval. You will not be permitted to leave your solar system without permission. And if we refuse these terms," asked the Chinese representative. The alien's mouthparts twisted in what might have been amusement. "You misunderstand. This is not a negotiation. This is an explanation of what will happen." In the back row of the assembly, Admiral Park Ji-woo sat perfectly still. Her dark uniform bore the insignia of the United Earth Naval Command, a military organization the aliens believed was merely ceremonial. Her face revealed nothing as she listened to the conclave's demands. When Dak finished speaking, Admiral Park touched her right temple. To anyone watching, it looked like she was merely brushing away a strand of hair. In reality, her finger activated the neural implant hidden beneath her skin. "Protocol Leviathan is now active," she whispered, her words picked up by the microscopic transmitter embedded in her jawbone. The signal traveled instantly through secure quantum channels to receivers placed strategically around the world's oceans. Far below the surface, where no alien scan had penetrated, something ancient stirred. In the Mariana Trench, 11 kilometers beneath the Pacific, massive doors began to slide open for the first time in 300 years. Similar facilities activated in the Atlantic, Indian, and Arctic Oceans. Systems that had been maintained in perfect readiness by generations of secret caretakers hummed to life. On the surface, human diplomats played their parts perfectly. "The nations of Earth request time to consider these terms," the Secretary-General said, his voice deliberately trembling. "This is overwhelming news for our people." Ambassador Dak nodded his large head. "You have 7 of your Earth days to prepare your populations. We understand this may cause distress among your more primitive citizens." Admiral Park watched the alien delegation depart. Only decades of training kept her expression neutral. The conclave representatives had no idea they had just delivered their ultimatum to the only species in the known galaxy that had voluntarily hidden its true capabilities. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in facilities larger than Manhattan, ancient engines began to power up. Weapons systems that could tear apart stars ran self-diagnostics. Quantum computers that could predict the movement of galaxies refreshed their calculations. And in hangar bays stretching for hundreds of kilometers, millions of warships, each more advanced than anything the Galactic Conclave had ever encountered, prepared to rise from the depths. Admiral Park slipped away from the assembly and made her way to a secure facility beneath the UN building. There, surrounded by Earth's highest military command, she looked at the activation signals coming in from around the world. "How long until the fleet is ready?" asked the Supreme Commander. Admiral Park checked the readings. 3 days at most. After centuries of waiting, humanity is about to reveal its true face to the stars. The room fell silent as they contemplated what would happen when the Conclave discovered they had not found a primitive species worthy of their protection, but had instead awakened the sleeping giant they had all been taught to fear. 3 weeks passed since the Conclave's ultimatum. Earth appeared to accept its new status. Human leaders made speeches about a new era of cooperation. The aliens believed their show of power had worked. In the space near Jupiter, 2 alien races fought over mining rights to one of the smaller moons. The Vex, insect-like beings with advanced crystal technology, claimed they discovered the moon first. The Noor, gaseous entities contained in mechanical suits, insisted the moon sat in their traditional territory. The Conclave sent 12 peacekeeping ships to resolve the matter. Their sleek vessels, shaped like elongated diamonds, positioned themselves between the arguing fleets. Ambassador Dak himself oversaw the mission from the command ship. "These primitive disputes waste our time," Dak complained to his second-in-command. "We should focus on establishing proper control over the humans." On Earth, Admiral Park sat in the underwater command center beneath the Pacific Ocean. Giant screens showed the alien vessels near Jupiter. Every movement was tracked by sensors the Conclave didn't know existed. "All fleet commanders report ready status," said Captain Yoon, her aide. Admiral Park nodded. "Then it's time." She pressed her palm against a scanner that read not just her fingerprints, but her DNA and brainwave patterns. Authorization: Park Ji-woo, Admiral, Earth Defense Force. Execute Operation Revelation. Around the world, at exactly 600 UTC, the oceans began to move. Not with natural waves or tides, but with deliberate purpose. Waters that had hidden humanity's secret for centuries now parted. In the Mariana Trench, massive doors 11 kilometers below the surface slid completely open. The water above it swirled and bulged upward. Similar events occurred in the South China Sea, the Atlantic Basin, the Indian Ocean, and dozens of other locations. Tourists on beaches ran in panic. Naval ships from nations not privy to the secret scrambled to investigate. Satellite images captured the disturbances spreading across every ocean. Admiral Park felt the deep vibration as her command ship, the dreadnought Hayward's Legacy began its ascent. The vessel, 5 kilometers long and built with technology no alien race had ever seen, rose steadily through the water column. "Stabilizers functioning perfectly," reported the ship's eye. "Hull integrity at 100%. All systems optimal." Around the world, millions of warships followed. Some small and agile, designed for speed. Others massive, carrying planet-destroying weapons. Each represented technological achievements the Conclave believed impossible for primitive humans. The Hayward's Legacy broke the surface first, water cascading off its midnight black hull. The ship hovered 10 meters above the waves, completely silent despite its enormous size. The only sound came from the displaced water returning to the ocean. Admiral Park stood on the command bridge, watching through the viewport as other ships emerged nearby. The sight brought a lump to her throat. For generations, her family had protected this secret. Now, at last, the truth would be known. "All ships report successful emergence," Captain Yoon announced. "The fleet awaits your orders, Admiral." Near Jupiter, alarms blared on Ambassador Dak's vessel. His sensor officer's hands moved frantically across control panels. "Massive energy signatures detected on Earth," the officer reported, voice rising in pitch. "Something is emerging from their oceans." "Show me," Dak demanded. The main screen flickered to display Earth. The image zoomed in on the Pacific Ocean, where the Hayward's Legacy now hovered. Similar scenes played out across all Earth's waters. "That's impossible," Dak whispered, his mandibles clicking rapidly in agitation. Scan that vessel. What classification level is their technology? The sensor officer worked the controls, then froze. Sir, their technology registers as classification level 9. Possibly higher. Our sensors cannot fully analyze their systems. Level 9. The highest technological tier known to exist in the galaxy. The exclusive domain of the Conclave's founding races. Certainly not possible for a species the Conclave had classified as Level 2 just weeks ago. This must be a trick, Dak insisted. Some kind of projected illusion. His words died as the ship's communication system activated without any input from his crew. Admiral Park's face appeared on every screen. "Attention, Galactic Conclave," she said, her voice calm but firm. "This is Admiral Park Ji-woo of the Earth Defense Force. What you are witnessing is not an illusion. For centuries, humanity has hidden its true capabilities beneath our oceans." She paused, allowing the significance to sink in. Humanity was never hiding from itself. Admiral Park continued. "We were hiding from you. And now you understand why." The million-ship fleet rose higher into Earth's atmosphere, a display of power that made the Conclave's 12 vessels seem insignificant by comparison. And for the first time in his long diplomatic career, Ambassador Dak felt genuine fear. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Conclave buzzed with frightened whispers. Representatives from 200 alien species gathered in the massive space station orbiting the neutral world of Centauri Prime. The emergency meeting had been called within hours of humanity's revelation. Admiral Park stood calmly at the center of the circular speaking platform. Her dark uniform with gold trim seemed plain compared to the elaborate dress of the alien representatives, yet all eyes were fixed on her. The human fleet's sudden appearance had turned the galaxy's power structure upside down overnight. The Supreme Elder of the Conclave, an ancient being named Euro, whose crystalline body glowed with internal light, spoke first. "Admiral Park of Earth, you have requested this audience to explain your deception. The Conclave awaits your words." Admiral Park nodded respectfully. "Thank you for agreeing to hear us. What I share today will change your understanding of galactic history." She touched a control on her wrist. Above the platform, a holographic display formed, showing Earth as it appeared now. "You believed humans were newcomers to the galactic stage," she began. "In truth, Earth was once the center of a vast interstellar civilization." The hologram shifted, zooming out to show hundreds, then thousands of star systems highlighted in blue. The marked territory spread across nearly a third of the known galaxy. Gasps echoed through the chamber. A reptilian delegate hissed in disbelief. "Impossible," shouted a representative from the Meldari Federation. "Our records go back 12,000 years. There is no mention of human empire." Admiral Park nodded. "Because we erased those records. After the Great Collapse War against the Void Harbingers 5,000 years ago, our ancestors faced a terrible choice." The hologram changed to show a massive battle. Strange dark ships fought against vessels clearly of human design. "The Void Harbingers emerged from the galactic core," Park continued. "They consumed everything in their path. We fought for decades, losing billions of lives and thousands of worlds." The Supreme Elder's glow dimmed slightly. "The Harbingers are merely legends, stories to frighten children. They were very real," Park said firmly. "And though we eventually drove them back, the cost was too great. Human civilization was on the brink of collapse." The hologram showed Earth again, but 5,000 years earlier. "Our ancestors made a strategic decision. Rather than maintain a weakened empire that could fall to other threats, they retreated to our homeworld. They sank our most advanced technology beneath the oceans, where it would be safe and hidden." Commander Ta Hanbin stepped forward. Unlike Admiral Park's formal bearing, the historian moved with casual confidence. His weathered face showed a lifetime of studying the past. "Most humans forgot their true history," Tai explained. "We created a new civilization from scratch, allowing natural development to occur. But some remembered." He touched his own wrist control. The hologram changed to show generations of humans standing watch over the hidden fleet. A select few maintained everything over generations. The Guardians, we called them. Admiral Park said, "My family has served for 23 generations. We kept the ships ready. We preserved the knowledge. We watched the stars for the Harbinger's return." A multi-limbed delegate from the Science Council moved closer. "This is fascinating mythology, Admiral, but where is your proof?" Commander Ta smiled. He reached into a case he carried and removed an object the size of his palm. It was a simple metal cube with no visible controls. "This is one piece of proof," he said. He placed the cube on the floor. Instantly, it rose and hovered at eye level. A soft blue light emerged from it, scanning everyone in the chamber. "Quantum field manipulation," gasped the science delegate. "But that's theoretical technology. Our best minds have only just conceived of it." "To you, perhaps," Ta said simply. "We've been using it for millennia." He touched the cube again. It expanded, forming a doorway of light. Through it, they could see a laboratory on Earth, thousands of light years away. "The quantum fold drive isn't theoretical either," Ta added. "This is a small application of it. Our ships use the full version." The Supreme Elder's crystalline form vibrated with emotion. "If what you say is true, why reveal yourselves now? Why maintain this deception for 5,000 years? Admiral Park's expression grew serious. "Because we detected something 3 months ago. Something awakening in the galactic core. The same energy signature our ancestors recorded 5,000 years ago." The hologram changed one final time, showing a dark, pulsing mass at the galaxy's center. "The Void Harbingers are returning," Park said quietly. "And this time, they're coming for all of us. We hid from the galaxy to prepare for this moment. Now we need to stand together, or separately. We will all fall." Silence filled the grand hall as the truth settled over the conclave. The galaxy as they knew it had changed forever. The news spread through the galaxy faster than light. Within days, every inhabited world knew that humans were not the primitive species they appeared to be. Fear and uncertainty gripped the conclave's member races. In the great halls of Mograx Prime, the militaristic Krell gathered their war council. Their massive bodies, covered in armored plates, crowded around strategy tables. "Humans have deceived us all," growled War Commander Torvak. "They cannot be trusted. We must strike first." Similar meetings happened across dozens of worlds. The Vex, the Zontari Dominion, and the Euler Hegemony formed a defensive coalition. They moved their fleets to high alert status and began fortifying their borders. Meanwhile, other species took a different approach. The peaceful Lorian Alliance sent ambassadors directly to Earth. The technologically advanced Pell sought knowledge exchange programs. Overnight, the stable political structure that had governed the galaxy for millennia fractured into competing factions. Admiral Park watched these developments from the bridge of the Asterisk, Haywan's Legacy Asterisk, now in orbit around Earth. The massive view screen showed real-time updates of fleet movements throughout nearby sectors. "The Krell are mobilizing," reported Captain Yoon. "They've moved 30% of their fleet to their outer defense line." Park nodded. "As expected, they've always solved problems with force." Director Kim Suho entered the bridge. Unlike Park's military bearing, the diplomat moved with calm grace. His simple gray suit represented Earth's new diplomatic corps. "The Conclave has requested another meeting," Kim said. "They seem concerned about recent developments." Admiral Park's lips curved into a slight smile. "Then perhaps it's time for a demonstration." She opened a channel to the fleet. "This is Admiral Park to all ship commanders. Prepare for Operation Starlight. Coordinates are being transmitted now." Throughout Earth's orbital space, 5,000 warships, each a marvel of technology, received their instructions. The ships ranged from small, agile fighters to massive dreadnoughts. Each was assigned specific coordinates across conclave space. In the grand hall of the conclave, representatives argued loudly among themselves. The Supreme Elder struggled to maintain order. "We cannot simply accept humans as equals," shouted the Krell ambassador. "They have lied to us all. Yet their technology far exceeds our own," countered the Lorian representative. "We must be practical." The debate stopped abruptly as the chamber's emergency alerts activated. The main display showed thousands of energy signatures appearing simultaneously throughout conclave territory. "We are under attack," cried the Krell ambassador. The Supreme Elders studied the readings. "No weapons have been fired. These are positioning demonstrations." On the display, human ships had appeared at every major strategic point in conclave space. They hovered near capital worlds, defense stations, and key military installations. The precision was perfect, close enough to demonstrate capability, but not so close as to trigger automated defenses. 3 seconds later, all 5,000 ships vanished, reappearing instantly in Earth orbit. "We cannot simply accept humans as equals," shouted the Krell ambassador. "They have lied to us all. Yet their technology far exceeds our own," countered the Lorian representative. "We must be practical." The debate stopped abruptly as the chamber's emergency alerts activated. The main display showed thousands of energy signatures appearing simultaneously throughout conclave territory. "We are under attack," cried the Krell ambassador. The Supreme Elders studied the readings. "No weapons have been fired. These are positioning demonstrations." On the display, human ships had appeared at every major strategic point in conclave space. They hovered near capital worlds, defense stations, and key military installations. The precision was perfect, close enough to demonstrate capability, but not so close as to trigger automated defenses. 3 seconds later, all 5,000 ships vanished, reappearing instantly in Earth orbit. The Grand Hall fell silent. 1 hour later, Admiral Park and Director Kim stood before the Conclave Council. The chamber remained unusually quiet. "What you witnessed was a small demonstration," Admiral Park explained. 5,000 ships using our quantum fold drive technology. We could have deployed our entire fleet if needed. Director Kim stepped forward. "We understand your concern. For thousands of years, you believed yourselves to be the most advanced civilization in the galaxy. Now you must adjust to a new reality. You could have destroyed us," the Supreme Elder said softly. Admiral Park nodded. "We could have destroyed your civilization a dozen times in the past month. We didn't. We won't. That's not our purpose." The truth of her words hung in the air. Every being in the chamber understood the significance. Humanity had revealed overwhelming power, yet had used it only for demonstration, not destruction. Director Kim removed a data crystal from his pocket and placed it on the central platform. "Earth proposes new terms for our relationship," he said. "We will join the conclave not as a protectorate, but as a founding member with our historical rights restored. We will share certain technologies, not all, but enough to benefit the common good. And we will help prepare the galaxy for what comes next." The Supreme Elder's crystalline body pulsed with changing colors as he considered the proposal. The council members communicated silently among themselves through their neural networks. Finally, the Elder's color settled into a calm blue. "Your proposal is acceptable. The Conclave recognizes Earth as a founding member with full historical rights." Director Kim bowed slightly. "Then let today mark the beginning of a new era." As they left the chamber, Admiral Park spoke quietly to Kim. "That went better than expected." Kim nodded. They had no choice. "But the real challenge still awaits us. The Harbingers don't negotiate." "No," Park agreed, her expression growing serious. "They don't, and they're getting closer every day." 6 months passed quickly. The galaxy changed in ways no one could have imagined before Earth revealed its secret fleet. Human ships now patrolled the borders between rival alien civilizations. Their presence alone stopped conflicts that had raged for centuries. The Krell and the Lorians, enemies for 1,000 years, finally signed a peace treaty under human supervision. The mineral-rich worlds of the Outer Rim, once constantly fought over, now saw trade instead of war. Admiral Park watched this transformation from Earth's new orbital headquarters. The massive space station, named Harmony, had been built in just 3 months using technology that amazed even the most advanced conclave engineers. It floated at the L1 point between Earth and the Moon, its curved arms extending like a flower opening to the stars. Today was special. Ships from 47 different alien civilizations approached Harmony in a grand procession. Each vessel represented a species that had chosen to join Earth's new defense initiative. Some were longtime conclave members, others were newcomers who had previously been considered too primitive to join. Admiral Park stood on the main observation deck. The curved, transparent wall showed the entire Earth below and the vast fleet gathering above. Beside her, Director Kim Soo-ho reviewed final notes for the upcoming Galactic Security Summit. "The Pell delegation arrives in 10 minutes," Kim said. "They're bringing their top scientists to discuss shield technology integration." Admiral Park nodded but seemed distracted. She wore her formal uniform today, with all 23 ancestral service medals that represented her family's long commitment to guarding Earth's secret. "6 months ago, they called us primitive," Kim continued. "Now they come to us for protection. We've achieved more than our ancestors could have hoped." Park's expression darkened. She touched a control panel on the wall. "They would be proud, but we've emerged for a reason beyond diplomacy." A holographic display appeared in the center of the room. It showed the galaxy from above, with a strange dark energy signature visible beyond the outer rim. The energy pulsed in patterns that seemed somehow unnatural, wrong in a way that made even seasoned space travelers uncomfortable. "The Void Harbingers are returning," Park said quietly. "That's why we reveal ourselves now. Our deep space sensors detected their awakening 9 months ago. The ancient enemy that nearly destroyed us is stirring again, and this time, the galaxy must stand united." Kim stared at the display, his usual diplomatic calm slipping for a moment. "The reports say they're still at least 2 years from reaching our outer systems. 2 years and 17 days, according to our most recent calculations," Park confirmed. "Barely enough time to prepare." Through the observation window, they could see new ships arriving. The Pell delegation traveled in vessels that looked like giant blue crystals. The Krell came in heavy battleships covered with weapon ports. The Lorians arrived in elegant ships that seemed to flow rather than fly. All different, yet all now working together. "Then we'll face them together," Kim said with determination. Park nodded. "Yes, and we'll be ready this time." She touched another control. The display changed to show Earth's oceans. Beneath the surface, in the ancient facilities that had hidden humanity's true power for thousands of years, new construction was underway. Massive shipyards stretched for hundreds of kilometers under the Pacific and Atlantic. Workers from a dozen species now labored alongside humans, building a new class of vessels. These ships were larger than anything seen before, combining technologies from multiple civilizations. "The Defender-class vessels will be ready in 18 months, Park said. "The first 10 are already halfway complete." "And the weapon systems?" Kim asked. "The Quantum Collapse cannon prototypes are successful in testing. We've integrated Pell crystal technology into the focusing arrays. It's twice as powerful as the weapons our ancestors used against the Harbingers." A soft chime indicated the Pell delegation had docked. Director Kim straightened his formal attire, preparing to greet them. 5,000 years of hiding, he mused. All for this moment. Admiral Park looked one last time at the holographic display, showing the approaching threat from beyond the rim. For centuries, her family had maintained the fleet, passed down the true history, and watched for the return of humanity's greatest enemy. Now that moment had come. "Our ancestors knew the Harbingers would return eventually," she said. "That's why they saved our technology instead of using it all in a final stand. They sacrificed their empire so that we would have the tools to win when it truly mattered." She closed the display with a gesture and turned toward the entrance where the delegates would soon arrive. "This time," Park said with quiet confidence, "we won't just drive them back. We'll end the threat forever." As the doors opened and representatives from across the galaxy entered, human and alien standing together as equals, Admiral Park allowed herself a small smile. The hidden fleet had emerged not to conquer, but to save, and in doing so, humanity had found its true place among the stars.